huge ancient lost city found in the Amazon.
A huge ancient city has been found in the Amazon, hidden for thousands of years by lush vegetation. The discovery changes what we know about the history of people living in the Amazon. The houses and plazas in the Upano area in eastern Ecuador were connected by an astounding network of roads and canals. The area lies in the shadow of a volcano that created rich local soils, but also may have led to the destruction of the society. While we knew about cities in the highlands of South America, like Machu Picchu in Peru, it was believed that people only lived nomadically or in tiny settlements in the Amazon. This is older than any other site we know in the Amazon. We have a Eurocentric view of civilization, but this shows we have to change our idea about what is culture and civilization, says Professor Stephen Rothstein, Director of Investigation at the National Center for Scientific Research in France, who led the research. Living in huts and clearing land, this shows ancient people lived in complicated urban societies, says co-author Antoine Dorison. It changes the way we see Amazonian cultures. Most people picture small groups, probably naked, living in huts and clearing land. This shows ancient people lived in complicated urban societies, says co-author Antoine Dorison. The city was built around 2,500 years ago, and people lived there for up to 1,000 years. According to archaeologists, it is difficult to accurately estimate how many people live there at any one time, but scientists say it is certainly in the 10 south, if not 100 south. The archaeologists combined ground excavations with a survey of a 300 square km, 116 square mile area using laser sensors flown on a plane that could identify remains of the city beneath the dense plants and trees. This LiDAR technology found 6,000 rectangular platforms, measuring about 20 meters, 66 feet by 10 meters, 33 feet, and 2 to 3 meters high. They were arranged in groups of 3 to 6 units around a plaza, with a central platform. A network of straight roads and paths connected many of the platforms, including one that extended 25 kilometers, 16 miles. Dr. Dorison said these roads were the most striking part of the research. The road network is very sophisticated. It extends over a vast distance. Everything is connected, and there are right angles, which is very impressive, he says, explaining that it is much harder to build a straight road than one that fits in with the landscape. He believes some had a very powerful meaning, perhaps linked to a ceremony or belief. The scientists also identified causeways with ditches on either side. There were signs of threats to the cities that helped manage the abundant water entrances to the settlements and may be evidence of threats from nearby people. Researchers first found evidence of a city in the 1970s, but this is the first time a comprehensive survey has been completed after 25 years of research. It reveals a large, complex society that appears to be even bigger than the well-known Mayan societies in Mexico and Central America. Imagine that you discovered another civilization like the Maya, but with completely different architecture, land use, ceramics, says Jose Iriart, a professor of archaeology at University of Exeter, who was not involved in this research. Some of the findings are unique for South America, he explains, pointing to the octagonal and rectangular platforms ranged together. The societies were clearly well organized and interconnected, he says, highlighting the long sunken roads between settlements. Not a huge amount is known about the people who lived there and what their societies were like. Tits and hearths were found in the platforms, as well as jars, stones to grind plants, and burnt seeds. The Quillamope and Upano people living there, probably mostly focused on agriculture. People ate maize and sweet potato, and probably drank chicha, a type of sweet beer. Verfrostein says he was warned against this research at the start of his career because scientists believe no ancient groups had lived in the Amazon. But I'm very stubborn, so I did it anyway. Now I must admit, I am quite happy to have made such a big discovery, he says. The next step for the researchers is understanding what lies in an adjoining 300 square kilometers, 116 square mile area not yet surveyed.